Yo, so I just actually finished high school. This was my last official day, and it feels weird as hell. I'm eating some pizza. Really good pizza, by the way. Man, it was really weird. Like, it was really weird primarily because of, you know, all your friends, right? Or all the people you met, all your classmates. You're no longer gonna see this. Basically, the argument of why this was very strange, very weird. Basically, that I see high school, and, or at least in my opinion, the way I see the value of high school, so of my current knowledge of May 23, 2025, is basically pure social. I think the most valuable thing there, and also university, I think is social. Because, like, you know, the education itself obviously is pretty important. In my case, high school, it wasn't really that good, and I think the social aspect was more important, in my opinion. And I think in university that's the case too, in my opinion. Again, because like this really is different from anyone, right? So yeah, like I'm just gonna talk about it. Like literally, today was just really weird. At the beginning, it was normal. I was just entering school and whatever, normal day to day things. Then started to become weirder when actually we were approaching the hour of getting out. And I'm not someone that is very emotional about this. Like, I'm not to the point where I'm crying or something, but I just felt weird. Because, like, even before entering high school, let me give you a little story context. I was in another high school for the first 2 years of high school because at least in my country, that I currently live in, Mexico, is 3 years. So the first 2 years I made it in one high school. Then, since I wanted to have a different environment, make a different change, or whatever, I went and changed to another high school the last year, which was this year. And I'm just gonna talk about this high school because the other one, I didn't felt, obviously I'm actually finishing high school with this high school, so that's why it feels weird in here, not there. If I was finishing high school in the other one, then I will be talking about that one, but that's not the case. I was in that, one year ago, I was in that decision, and of either getting into this high school or staying the one that I was. And I'm reflecting about that decision. Was it the right decision? Was it the wrong decision? I think, even if that's important, I think more important is that I just take responsibility on the decision that I made. Like, just take full responsibility on the fact that I made the decision, and take full responsibility on the decision that I made. And just to, yeah, take full responsibility. I don't blame my parents, my family, even if they really were pushing me towards making a certain decision. Because my initial thought was not starting high school at all. I just wanted to get out of it. Then my second thought, obviously they really persuaded me. My family really persuaded me But at the end of the day, I was the one who made the decision of, doing this stuff. It's like, let's say, even if I was like, no, I'm not gonna listen to you, that was still my decision. Even if they were mad, it's still my decision. So, even if they persuaded me, it's not that it was their fault, and I'm not gonna point fingers at them. I'm gonna point fingers at me because that was my decision, right? Basically, my initial thought was just not doing high school at all. Then got to online high school, and then he got to press scout high schooling, like physical high school, and that was the high school that I chose. And it feels weird because like my initial thought was, man, I'm just gonna enter this high school because that's what my parents wanted me to do, right? And then they actually made the decision, right? I was like, okay, well, it's not gonna be that bad. I can leave, blah blah. And and it feels weird because at the beginning I wasn't really looking at this, in the positive way, or not positive way. I was actually looking in the positive way, but I wasn't really excited. Like, oh, let's go to high school, whatever. I was just like, okay, it's not gonna be bad. Why not? Let's go let's go. And I just did that, and that's what happened. And now that I finished that year, which is last year of high school, I actually feel a little weird because I actually got a little attached. Obviously, because I'm a human, right? I'm not a robot. Obviously, you're gonna get attached to people, even if they are like criminals. Like you're gonna get at least some kind of bond with them. And I get attached, and I'm just feeling that normal human thing, which is basically getting detached from that circle or from those classmates. Cause like, yeah, there were some classmates that were really like just funny as hell. I'm always gonna remember them. They were just make me laugh every single time, and I really appreciate all the laughs. But yeah, um, it just felt weird. And today approaching 3 p.m., which is the normal hour where everyone gets out, felt weirder because I was actually saying a last goodbye to everyone, to the funny guys, to the intelligent guys, to the ones who just like different stuff, anyone, no matter who they were, no matter what they were interested in, no matter how they looked. I was just saying goodbye to everyone, thanking them, and just wishing them the best. And yeah, it really felt weird, but also pretty unique, pretty beautiful, like pretty grateful that I had a chance to just share an experience with all of these guys. It was a pretty cool experience, like, doing, mostly some stupid high school shit, you know, just stupid high school stuff, like, but it was cool. But yeah, I mean, it was really interesting, and obviously I wish them the best to everyone. But as I was thinking after that, you know, uh, stage ends, but a new one begins, right? A new thing begins, and in my case, a new thing begins, right? So I just wanted to like share this stuff because like it was really interesting to me how I just felt strange, weird, and kind of emotional, right? Honestly. And I don't know, it's a very interesting experience. And at the end of this, like high school, right? It's just a stage that you live once in your life, right? So very interesting. Obviously, there's the arguments of, oh, don't study high school, or that's, whatever. But at the end of the day, I just took the decision. I took full responsibility of it, either if it was a right or wrong decision. Take full responsibility of my time investment into that. Another experience, and I also really got reinforced, I think, the belief that I have of these scenarios and these contexts and these for example institutions which are schools, these places as very important for social stuff. Like I really think the to me the priority there is just social stuff, because like education you can get it with you can get a better quality of education with just paying some expert, and you self-studying and with AI. I don't know, YouTube, like internet, whatever, books, all the resources. And but here I think obviously that's important, learning, you still get pretty good like teachers and whatever. But I see the priority here in the social aspect. Because like for example in this high school, I made a friend that I'm like, man, this guy's really my friend. I haven't said that in a while. Like I think since COVID started, which was like 5 years ago, I haven't really genuinely been like, man, this is actually a friend. Because I think, you know, we're definitely very like-minded in a lot of things, and we just have a lot of interests. We just have a lot of very like-minded mentality, and we want to do cool shit in the world. So I think that's pretty cool, and that's something that I got from just getting to the high school. So I'm definitely grateful for it. Hopefully that relationship, is long term. At the end of the day, I know that relationships are transactional at the end of the day, even if that doesn't sound very good, but at the end of the day, that's the case, right? Obviously, I don't want to say it that way, but that's kind of the way. If you don't agree with me, or you're like, what? Watch some videos from Alex Ramosi talking about this. I really agree with, his philosophy on this. But like, basically, the point that I want to make is just that the social aspect is crucial, man. And if you if someone's watching this and they're like in high school, even in elementary school, or even in middle school, or in university, I don't know, where you are in this social, literally it's just the perfect, just think about it, it's a place where they literally get 500, 600, even sometimes 1,000. Universities obviously is more, it's more like 10,000 people that are your age or very similar to your age. Boom, they just put it in that place. And now whenever you know it's 8 a.m., or whenever you enter high school, the doors open to literally those 500 people, those 600, to those 10,000 people that are your age. So it's an incredible opportunity when you view it that way of meeting anyone. And I really encourage everyone that is watching this and they're like in high school, even elementary school, middle school, university, like just to go and meet anyone. Don't have shame. At the end of the day, you have nothing to lose. Like, like if you just talk with someone and they just don't fuck with you, what else? Like, they're not gonna care in the next day, and you're just gonna be like, okay, it's just a feedback loop. I don't see it as a failure. I like this quote a lot about from Naval Ravikant, which is, it's not failure but rather feedback loop. And for example, this is a lot. It happens a lot with females, right? When you talk with girls, well, you have nothing to lose talking to a girl. Oh, shame. Okay, shame, but now what? Okay, shame. Now you got someone that understands that they have nothing to lose, and even if they are like, oh, might have shame, they just go and do it, and what? At least they got it. And maybe from the 10 girls that they talk to, one is gonna get it, right? One is gonna be like interested. So just go for it. Like this I really encourage you to realize the incredible opportunity that you have in the social aspect. Like, you literally have anyone, you can talk to anyone. You just need to have a little bit of balls to get into that position where you're like, man, I'm just gonna talk to this girl, I'm just gonna talk with this guy, or I don't give a fuck. And if they like laugh at you, who cares? Like, they're not gonna remember you in 5 days. But if you really connect with them, boom, you have a new friend. Maybe that's your new co-founder of an incredible company, or maybe that's just your friend for life. I don't know. But like, that's the thing. So that's like one insight that I got from this experience of high school. For example, I was like with these through group of people. Like I first got into this group, and then I was like, man, I want to talk to this other group, and then just talk to this other group. And obviously, there was some pushback from the initial group, which I think it was mostly like jokes of, hey, you stealer guy, whatever, yeah. At the end of the day, I think mostly it's a joke. It was a joke, I hope. But if not, who cares? Like, it's your decision. You get to decide what you do. You have the freedom to do that, so let's do it. So that's the first thing I recommend. Then the second thing, once you're starting to do that, there's gonna be obviously some pushback. There's gonna be some feedback loops or failures. I'm like just don't look at it as failures. Just looking at feedback loops, or just make you gain more experience, right? And then if there's pushback or whatever, it's all about how you see the world. If you see the world in a certain different way, you're gonna therefore have a very certain different, behaviors. I wish I had, got that. Like, I wish I had done that sooner. As soon as I entered this, last year high school, because I did it mostly like 3 months before getting out, before this day. But yeah, I think it was okay, and I really recommend that because you're just literally getting to a place where there's like thousands or hundreds of people your age with every single flavor, like of interest, of freaking things that they do, freaking whatever. So yeah, and talk to anyone. Like I really like this philosophy from this guy. As the CEO of WAP, he literally said, like, I will talk to anyone. I could talk to a homeless for 2 hours. Obviously that's an extreme scenario, but like it's just a very good philosophy that I fuck with, because it's just like, man, talk to anyone. It doesn't matter if if it's a weird guy that most of the school they're like just like, oh, that's a weird guy. Who cares? You're gonna talk to them, and you have nothing to lose at the end of the day. A lot of people don't get this. You have nothing to lose when you talk to the weird guy, or you talk to the beautiful girl that nobody wants to talk to because they're too scared. What do you lose? Let's say both humans, the girl and the guy, and the weird guy, the beautiful girl and the weird guy, they just reject you. What else? At least you fucking tried, and like most people didn't. So, I don't give, that's my thing. Just go for it, and it's like, yeah, that's what I can say right now. Like, that's what I have learned from this experience. And at the end of the day, nobody cares. Nobody really cares. Like, really, nobody cares. So yeah, I don't know. School is a very interesting social scenario. I have really changed my perspective around school. Obviously, when I was like wanting to get out of high school, like, fuck this thing, I was looking at it more in the education part. We all know that, traditional educational systems are not that good. They're just like very bad. So I really changed my perspective. I was like, man, this education stuff is like, it's not good. I could learn this myself with the AI or whatever it is. But like, this social aspect is really interesting. So I really leaned more into that. I don't know. It was very interesting, very weird. Definitely an experience that I'm gonna appreciate every single moment that I get reminded of it, because it was another experience, right? A great experience. I'm not gonna view it like, there's gonna be some negative things, some positive things, like, but I'm just gonna appreciate it, and that's just what I did. I'm gonna take full responsibility of the decisions that I made, and a new state and a new thing begins, right? And that's just the mentality I got right now. And yeah, bro, like, I just finished high school. I just graduated high school. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Let's go. Let's go fucking conquer the world, man. Bro, this thing is really good. By the way, I just got reminded of a song of Mac Miller, I think is the name. He literally just says, I just graduated high school. Man, that song represents me right now. I graduated